My wall is growing. I started episodes. I don't know if that's gonna stick. It's just brainstorming at this time. But I think I've got all the characters. And again, all this is copyrighted. So you cannot use these names in any of your TV shit. I will be all over your ass. But the main characters, this is McKenna. She's the commander. Then we have Sweetie. She's from the moon. McKenna's from Spartacus. Remember, this is a long time. Actually, I jumped up the timeline. Instead of, like, it's 3035 instead of 2035, so further. So she was born. McKenna is full-blooded human, and in this world, full-blooded humans are rare and going extinct. So they woke her up out of cryo sleep to run this whole program. She's a commander. She's actually very old. They just do a decade at a time normally and then freeze them. So we'll see what happens on the show, but that's the backstory. So Sweetie is from the moon. She's the director of business and events, like the social director. Luna, she's from Astros. She's the ship director of education. Basically, she controls everything people are learning and the documentation of what they are learning about where they are. Jazz. I almost said Jack. Is from Mercury. She is the ship director of trade and commerce. Basically pink female, blue male. Pinta, she's from Krypton. She's the ship director of farming and agriculture. This is up in space. Like I said, there is no Earth. Rue is from Jupiter. She's the director of intelligence, basically the spy. Then we have Nova. She's from Venus. She's the ship chief of medicine, basically the surgeon general. Then we have Atlas. He's from Atlantia. He's the navigator and communications guy of the ship. Then we have Pirate, and he's from Baltor. He is basically the general of the military. Hex is from Saturn. He's the ship defense specialist and director. He's kind of going to be a little bit like Hellboy, kind of. I'm Hellboy inspired Hex for me. Then there's Poe. He's from Metatronics. He's the ship language specialist. Basically, there's a bunch of species, so he knows all the languages. He's the interpreter. Looper is from Neptune. He's the ship air traffic and control director. Then there's Navy, and he's from Pluto. He's the ship engineer and the ship systems director. And then there's Rex, and he's from Uranus. He's called Rex because he's actually basically a walking reptilian guy. And he's the shipping and receiver of everything that comes onto the station. So I got 5 episodes so far. And again, I described the living conditions of all the planets, the species and their names on each planet, kind of like what it would be like for humans, who has oxygen, who doesn't. Let's see, Tundrix. You can live there if you're human, but basically it's a frozen tundra. That's why it's called Tundrix. Krypton is basically a giant moon full of craters. Astros is like terrible for humans. You don't want to go there. It's mostly gassy like Saturn. Atlantia is basically the new Earth, green and lush and pretty like Atlantis. Clearly based on that. Baltor is based on the Baltic Sea, again cold and watery. Spartacus, another green place that's thriving. Metatronics is basically metal and gas. Then Uranus, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Saturn. This is what's left of the solar system, and the sun is still there. Just nobody goes to the sun or lives on it. It's just too hot. But there's going to be way more characters, but these are the characters that are in some way in every episode. Basically, this is the council. The story of this sitcom is more to do with the people who run a space station. Not everybody lives in space. Clearly, people live on planets. But this station we are calling the Caboose. It's the last station before deep space. Nothing has been frontiered, if you will, beyond this station. So it's like literally the end of the universe, and it's kind of the job nobody wants. So McKenna's going to be tested as a leader. She's a young girl who is a species going extinct and facing a lot of shit. It's a lot of serious, but it's a lot of humor so far. I originally set out to do a sitcom, but it's becoming more of like a action drama. But this is why you plan things out, why you put it together, because I know so much more about the direction in which I'm going, and people are like, why are you sharing all of this? But I'm here to document my journey. I'm an influencer for writers. This is how you don't need a fucking degree. You just have to be organized when you're writing. Like, I don't know how to write a sitcom. I'm fighting through this by myself, so this is what I'm figuring out works for me, especially when you're writing things episode by episode. Again, I'm going to, under here, I'm going to have the leading support roles and then reoccurring. That'll come later. Although there's details about the episodes, I'm going to put details about the world, like what the name of the station is, the distance, because you want to be repetitive in your story. And then, of course, if I change anything, I'll just redo a card and put it back up. But I'm getting there, guys. 5 episodes down. I need to go to bed. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I hope you're all doing well. See you soon. Bye.